Just in favor of a roll call.
Absolutely. Online, we have Cheryl Hartman, Eric Dixon, Heidi West, Jason Emery, Kayla Talbert, Kyla Leonards, Melissa Fisher, Shane Stack, Martin Kidston, and M. Katz. In 206, we have Commissioners Slotnick, Vero and Strohmeyer. We have Ann Hughes, Andrew Chorney, Allison France, Vinnie Pavlish, Sam Scott, myself, Ann Kathy, Cheryl Ziegler, Mike Cash, Carrie Powers, and Emmy Bristow.
Thanks a lot. Before we dive in, do we have any public comment on items not on the agenda? I'd see none. We'll jump to the consent agenda, which is a stout one today. Due mostly to PHC, otherwise the clinic known as someone who works here. Given all the employment on the consent agenda. Anything on the consent agenda folks would like to pull out and talk about?
Cheryl has the last item on that agenda, number 23. We usually talk about that. I don't know if we need to, but we could visit on it for just 2 minutes.
You'd like to.
Oh, man, and you came all the way over here.
Yeah, let's
Just
talk
you
about
came
that.
all the way over here. We'll pull it out and talk about it.
We'll make your.
It's not that far.
I'll read it and you can go from there. It says, request board approved contract between Smart Communications and the Missoula County Detention Facility to provide telecommunications services for inmates. This contract is for a 5-year term and may be optionally renewed for 2 additional terms and 1 year in length each. There's no direct cost for services to the county.
There's not. So we went out for RFP for telecom services earlier this year, as we've been with IC Solutions for a number of years, providing telephones, kiosks, tablet technology to inmates. This is essentially a similar contract, but a little bit more robust, and also reduces some costs to inmates and to friends and family that are funding those things. So it's going to take phone call costs from 21 cents a minute to 15 cents a minute for inmates. They're still going to have access to kiosks, to tablets. Those things provide them with, a robust law library with some educational courses or things, and also with some entertainment. Same platform as our previous contract in that they can do some educational courses to earn credit for entertainment, be it music, games, movies, whatever the case may be, or they can actually pay for those services under this contract, up to them. But it does make any of those those entertainment options accessible across the board, both to our inmates who may have some money and those who are indigent. So that was a big priority for us in making sure that everybody can access them equally. One of the things that we're pretty excited about in this contract is that it does up our capacity for video visitation. We will continue to offer our inmates 2 free video visits across the board. I will also introduce some a new technology to us that allows for confidential, privileged, non-recorded video visitations free of charge with their counsel. So with attorneys who may not be able to come to the jail. So the hope is that it'll increase their ability to communicate with counsel. It will also up our tablet ratio. Right now, we're kind of 1 to 2, so 1 tablet for every 2 inmates. This will go 1 to 1. And then also those tablets will function as telephones as well. So increasing their access to communicate with their family, friends, etc., because they will be sharing 2 telephones amongst 24 inmates. One telephone, their own tablet, their own ability to at any time communicate. It also has on-demand video visiting scheduling. So anybody could at any point in the community say, hey, I'd like to visit with so-and-so. It'll tell them if so-and-so is available, and if they are, they can just start a visit in that moment.
Presumably, if there's no cost to the county, this is being bankrolled by Smart Communications by the per minute charge.
Exactly.
So how is it that that is actually going down, yet services are more robust?
Well, I think as technology sort of develops across the board, Smart Company, they're a huge one, right? They have contracts across the nation. Some of the smaller ones that we've worked with previously, maybe don't have the infrastructure that Smart Communications does. So they're able to offer those things. The county also does back on these things that we can then reinvest in our inmates. Historically, we've used those funds, not for general operating, et cetera, but to improve conditions for inmates within the jail. Maybe that means larger telephones. Maybe that means more gaming equipment. Maybe that means more athletic equipment, whatever the case may be. We reinvest that money right back into our inmate population. But they are, it's a for-profit industry. Let's not kid ourselves, but they are reducing those costs, and we like that. So the state controls for DOC inmates, not in our care, but MSP inmates, there is some legislation that sort of drives those costs down statutorily. That's not impacting detention centers yet, but I do think it's probably in the future coming our way as well. And so most of these companies are trying to get on board with providing that service at the cost that they anticipate they're going to have to at some point anyway.
And Smart Communications owns all of the equipment.
They do.
Okay.
So they'll build any infrastructure that's required, although the majority of it is already there, having been built by previous vendors. But if they need to put anything else in, that's at their expense as well, and then becomes the property of the county. So any wiring or other things that they would need to install. It's also done with our vendors. We have some control over who they use in-house. They're in charge of and paying the costs of any of the internet services, any of those telecom or telephone costs to provide the service, etc. So no direct cost to us whatsoever, but just some pretty cool services for inmates to increase communication with community.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second that.
Any public comment? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks for making the check and for the good explanation.
And then leave this long.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
Oh, Andrew's a taker. Look at that.
So the contracts are in there as well as the costs from our previous vendors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Some light reading for you.
Heidi West and Cindy Kennedy are up next.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having us. So the first item is to request the board chair to sign a contract with the Montana Department of Commerce for $600,000 of community development block grant funding. These funds are in support of the Housing Montana Heroes project. I gave you an update on that project back at the beginning of June. This is the county already has $833,000 of ARPA funding that supported the purchase of the property. This grant has $60,000 of admin funding that will go to the county for management of this grant, and then the remaining $540,000 is in direct support of the project. So it will support the deconstruction site work and reconstruction of 16 units of housing. That is in addition to 4 units that are going to remain on site. So the result of this project will be 20 units of non-congregate transitional housing for veterans in Missoula. So do you guys have any other questions?
I
No.
don't think so.
Okay.
I would move that we authorize the chair to sign the contract.
Second.
All right, any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
It's a great project. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
Sam?
So I'm here for year 4 of MAP Missoula. For the 4th
Yay.
year, we have been awarded a MDIA grant, used to be MLIA grant award. And for the 4th year, we were ranked first in our priorities for funding.
Nice.
This year, just as the prior years, this grant will go towards funding one full-time temporary employee for 10 months, and then 1 internship in the fall and 1 in the spring. The grant award is $45,527 from the state with an in-kind contribution of $45,356 as a part of my time contributed toward the project. At the end of this grant year, we will have 75% of deeds mapped on parcels, as well as a conference presentation, again, at one of the GIS conferences in Smart State. And then we will also have a public-facing beta version of the app available on most likely the property information system before we enter year 5, where we will finish up and figure out ongoing maintenance.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
So in year 5, that's when the general public will be able to play with it?
We're hoping that that beta version of it this spring will be able able to release it publicly, and it just will be obviously incomplete in terms of data, but will be accessible.
Good, cool.
Great to get
That's
this
great.
rolled out of a Mako conference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody will want.
I move that the chair signs the statement of work.
Second. Any public comment? Right, all in favor?
Aye,
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
thank you.
Kyla.
Kayla,
Kayla.
right? Or who are we?
Kayla.
Where are we?
Who are we?
Kayla.
Oh, you're muted, Kayla.
Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Good
know
morning.
Grasses behind you.
No,
Grass.
the-
With the box of grasses behind you.
Oh, it's lavender
Oh, okay.
and it's a old wine case.
Oh, I thought it was like a butterfly or a bug on it that came from
No.
the college. Okay.
Um,
Naturally, right. Sorry, go ahead.
so I have the next two items. They're related. They're for the same grant that we received from the state. And this is the Community Development Block Grant that we were awarded through the Montana Department of Commerce for the rehabilitation program that we partner with the Human Resource Council with. The first item is the resolution of adoption of receipted funds plans. This is a requirement for the CDBG program that we have an adopted plan in place for when, if there is any funds that they call them program income funds. So any funds that are generated through the program, what our intent to use those funds are. It's a requirement that those funds be used first before any other grant funds get used. So this plan is just outlining with HRC what we would like those funds to go towards. And that will be attached to the subrecipient agreement that we have with HRC that I will bring to you at the next admin meeting. And the second item 4, is the actual contract with Montana Department of Commerce. And this is the award that we received up to $300,000 to support 5 homes for rehabilitation to improve items related to health, safety, structural integrity, energy conservation, and handicap accessibility. Missoula County will receive, $13,375 to administer the grant. The remaining $286,625 will be subawarded to HRC to do the actual rehab of the program and do some program management of it. Any questions on those two items?
No,
I would move that we approve items 3 and 4.
second.
Any public comment? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Kayla.
Thank you.
Great, thanks, bye.
Yeah. Jane.
Good morning.
Hey there.
I guess I've got the next 2 items. The first one is kind of a simple thing. Eric and I have been meeting regularly with BLM to discuss where we can cooperate and coordinate on road maintenance and construction. And those conversations have gone well. And one of the things that have come up in those conversations is I think that BLM needs more of a formalized agreement to allow them the freedom to work with us a little bit more closely to kind of share services. So this is simply just an agreement between BLM and Missoula County that basically states that we'll work together and share services where it makes sense, meet regularly to find opportunities to work together, and that each agency wouldn't do any more work than the other agency, so any of the services provided would be equal for both agencies. I think the benefit here is it makes both agencies a little bit more efficient. So if BLM is out grading a road near one of our roads, they can hop over and do that for us and vice versa for them. So kind of a win-win, makes a lot of sense. So any questions on that?
No, where does most of this work happen? Where do we have BLM and county?
Yeah, I think, I think a good example might be like the McNamara and Johns Road. They just recently reconstructed that road and they paved a short segment of county. And beyond Whitaker Bridge, they were contemplating doing some maintenance work there. And if we came over, say, from like 9 Mile Prairie and needed to do some work, we could extend further into past 9 Mile Prairie where we generally maintain and kind of meet them in the middle if we wanted to do some work there to partner with them. So those are, I guess, roads that are just one example, but there's a ton of them out there. When we sat down and met with BLM where our roads end and their roads begin, and if we've got a grader there and they need some work, we can certainly go do that, and again, vice versa.
Great.
That's way to cooperate. How we should be behaving.
I like win-win. I move to approve the road maintenance agreement.
Second. Any public comment? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank
We
you.
got the next one too, another controversial
Yeah,
item.
this is this one's pretty simple. Just painting the Public Works office out here, and so we just needed a professional services agreement with Advantage Painting to paint the exterior for a price not to exceed $12,000.
I don't know, Josh doesn't like the color.
Good color.
He still doesn't like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Bless Josh.
I'd move that we paint the building.
All right, any public comment? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Eric, you got a whole slew of them coming up here.
Yeah, I know it's not a competition, but Shane had 2, I have 5, so
Just saying.
just saying. And these aren't even mine, they're really Shane's and Brent O'Connor's. They've been working with HDR and the DNRC, so these 5 items combined are for the Lolo Water and Sewer District. There is a project for the water system improvements that are already underway. There are designs, I think, about complete for the wastewater improvements. And then out at the Y, the Sunset West Water District has some water system improvements that are designed but have not yet gone out for construction. So collectively, these 5 items are for reporting requirements from the DNRC. These are ARPA funds that are being administered by the DNRC in Montana. So they have quarterly reporting requirements, and with those quarterly reports can come a reimbursement request. So with the Lolo water and sewer projects, there's kind of a catch up for some of the work that was done in 2022. There were some paperwork issues that the DNRC asked that we clean up before we make the official request. So this is just a catch up for both water and sewer improvements in Lolo and for the Sunset West Water District improvements.
Can we take them all together? Okay, I move we approve items 7 through 11.
Good job. Second. All right, any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, making these needed improvements. Oh, now we have an exciting one. Not that sewer improvements aren't exciting. Clinton Rising.
Yeah.
Are we looking for 100%?
Good morning, commissioners.
I feel it's.
So today I am bringing before you the Clinton Community Council. The voters approved the council to the special district on May 2nd. And upon the creation, the initial council will be appointed by you, the county commissioners, from those initial letters submitted back in January. We had 7 applicants decide to move forward with the process. I will list their names really quickly. We have Susan Mace, Frankie Feinstein, Chris Hanley, Chris Solly, Bonnie Roberts, Doug Kicker, and Susan Holloway. So we will appoint 5 members today, staggered terms to keep the balance of the board. And we have 2 one-year terms, 2 two-year terms, and 1 3-year term. And then after all of those terms, whenever their term expires, they will file with the elections office for the special district filing because councils are elected seats. Okay, that's my part of this, and now I will roll over to you.
Could you refresh our memory, Kyla, as far as the specific individuals who we discussed previously who might constitute our slate of?
Sure.
Okay.
So the
You can
5
do it.
that,
Their corresponding terms.
Yes.
yeah, I can just,
I have it
if you
written
want, I can
down.
read you the name and the term.
Juan's got it.
Oh, Juan, okay, I'll let you
Well,
do it.
Double check me. I'd suggest Frankie Feinstein for a 1-year term because we appreciate her experience, but she's not sure she wants to serve more than 1 year. Chris Hanley recently retired for a 2-year term. Chris Salway for a 3-year term, and Bonnie Roberts for a 2-year term. And Susan Holloway for a 1-year term.
Okay, that sounds correct in my recollection of our conversation.
Thanks for
Yay!
all the heavy lifting to create.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thing.
Kyla.
You did a great job.
I will move that we do exactly what Juanita just read.
Oh, second, yeah.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Clinton Community Council is born.
Woo!
So maybe I was thinking just all 3 of us should go out for their bring in as a.
Oh,
Clinton.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever that is, so we should do that.
Can you let us know when that?
Would
Yeah.
that be it? How soon would that
Yes,
be again?
I will let you know of the future steps.
Martin's on even.
Martin's on, yeah, we could talk to Martin about
A
that.
new
The
community.
new
council.
community council is born.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's great, great.
Maybe if we paired it with the death of a community.
And
council.
There we go.
What else could be newsworthy on there? The gold mine? No.
No, the skate park will.
Oh, there's a skate
Yeah,
park.
yeah.
There's gonna be a skate park, Martin.
Bring your skateboard.
Yeah, there's gonna be a skate
We'll make a
park.
Clinton day of it.
Sounds good. I'll show off.
Okay.
We have another one.
Yeah, so the next one I have for you is for the library board. We had 2 terms expire June 30th. We had 1 member meet her term limit, that's Margaret Wafstedt. We had 1 member, Forrest Bogner, submit a letter of interest and is eligible to continue serving. And then Julie Edwards, the current alternate, is interested in serving in a regular member seat. So the motions would be to reappoint Forrest to a 5-year term, appoint Julie, the current alternate, to the new 5-year term, and then to appoint one of the new applicants to the alternate term. We had 3 applicants, Chase Taylor, Peter Donaldson, and Carly Graff.
And Peter, I think, is the one that I don't have the right notebook with all the asterisks around his community involvement and his interest in collaboration. And forgetting the other asterisks.
I think he'll be a good fit.
He's gonna be a good fit.
I'd move we appoint Peter Donaldson.
And all the other stuff.
Oh,
Okay,
gosh.
yeah, that was what I was waiting for.
I'll second that.
All the other stuff, okay.
Any public comment? Right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Thanks.
yes.
I'll check my.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And it looks like there is some correspondence. For the Safe Streets and Roads Grant.
Oh,
Thanks. Is he still on?
There he is.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is just a letter that we'll need as we work towards finalizing the grant agreement for the Safe Streets and Roads for All for South Avenue improvements, and as well as there's a short segment of Clements. And just as a reminder, This would essentially provide sidewalks and a shared use path, curb gutter, kind of a, call it a complete street, typical section from Reserve Street to Clemens on South Avenue. And then also kind of that same typical section along Clemens between South and North Avenue. I guess as a reminder too, our match is 842,000 plus or minus. So that's the.
Andrew's totally relaxed. Just shrug.
So Martin, I know this isn't as big a story as one in Clinton, but it is pretty remarkable. And what's the total dollars on this, the federal grant we're getting? It's big, it's a big deal.
It's in the $9 million range, Josh. I can
And it'll make for a huge physical change for the folks who live and work and play around that South Avenue and Fort Missoula Regional Park area. And for the folks who live on Clements and kids walk to school there, this is a giant safety increase.
Yeah, Josh, the grant award is $9,311,254.08.
So, Martin, have you written about this one already? I can't remember. You've already taken it on. If so, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've done a couple stories on this, but where does that matching funds come from? I guess that's the only question I had. I'm familiar with the work that you're doing.
Thanks.
It'll be a combination of reserve funds and property taxes.
Great, thanks.
Okay, we'll see that lever.
Yes. we'll
Thank
see that
you.
later. Thanks, Shane.
Thank you.
Okay, do we
Oh,
have-
Martin, he has his hand up again.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, this is for a separate, I understand the Department of Revenue, I believe, will be in Missoula tomorrow
Yeah.
to discuss their appraisals. It was my understanding that Missoula wasn't originally on the list of places they were going to discuss this, although they had 2 meetings in Joliet, but none in
Yes.
Missoula. And word on the street is that, Josh, you raised hell and convinced them to come to Missoula. One, is that true? And why on earth would they not discuss this issue in Missoula?
Well, I think that the raising hell was a team effort. But yes, hell was raised, our legislative delegation and our BCC. So everyone together there, yes. And what I had heard, and I can't verify this was true, but I heard that they said they had security concerns. So you'd have to bring that up with them on what indeed they were afraid of.
Yeah, okay, that's what I heard too. Thanks.
I hope you go to the event.
I will be.
I guess we're all done. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.